Welcome to the epic journey through time as we explore the history of Rome, from its legendary founding to the fall of the mighty Roman Empire. Our story begins in 753 BC with the tale of Romulus and Remus, the twin brothers raised by a she-wolf who would lay the foundations of Rome. Witness the rise of the Roman Republic, a period marked by political innovation and military conquests that expanded Rome's influence across the Mediterranean. Meet Julius Caesar, a pivotal figure whose leadership and ambition would transform Rome from a republic to an empire. Julius Caesar was from a low-income family and gained his power and his wealth by military means. Additionally, he never lost a war. Caesar could not marry Cleopatra's seventh because the Roman laws did not allow polygamy. At the time, Caesar was still married to Calpurnia. Julius Caesar's murder was a well-organized assassination. His assassinators stabbed him 23 times to death on the portico of Pompey. He was the first person in history to have an autopsy. Augustus was Caesar's great-nephew and adopted son, and only rose to power due to Caesar's death. In order to solidify the alliance, Mark Antony married Augustus's sister, and Augustus married Antony's stepdaughter, Claudia. Neither marriage lasted, however, nor did the triumvirate. The final break came in 32 BC when Augustus used an illicitly obtained copy of Antony's will to rail against him and his high-profile mistress, the Egyptian queen Cleopatra. If you think all the mysteries of ancient Rome have been uncovered, think again. The ancient city is about 30 feet below modern street level, and some estimate that only around 10% of it has been excavated. Fans of Dan Brown's Angels and Demons read about the Passetto di Borgo leading from Vatican City to Castel Sant'Angelo. It really does exist and has been used by popes when Vatican City has been under attack. The Castel Sant'Angelo is a museum and open to visit. Experience the Pax Romana, a golden age of peace and prosperity, where Roman culture, architecture, and law flourished. Follow the challenges faced by the empire, from internal strife to external invasions, leading to its eventual decline. Discover the legacy of Rome, whose contributions to language, law, and engineering continue to shape our world. Most of us have heard about how the Romans persecuted Christians, and anyone who has visited the Colosseum has seen the cross in honor of the Christians who were martyred there. It is true that there were animal hunts held in the Colosseum, but there is no evidence that Christians specifically were punished that way. There are over 2,000 fountains in Rome. Most of the fountains are small fountains, known as nasone, Italian for big nose, providing free drinking water to all Romans. Romans loved banquets and loved to eat luxurious food. But what do you do when you're full but still want to eat? Well, you throw up so that you can eat more. This behavior was described by famous Roman philosopher Seneca. They vomit so that they may eat and eat so that they may vomit. But in ancient Rome, flamingo tongues were a highly sought-after dish, considered extremely delicious. Rome had the first legal system, known as the 12 Tables. These were first written down in the 5th century BCE. By the 3rd century BCE, there were many written laws. The Romans can be called the fathers of bureaucracy, as many who live in today's city can sadly still confirm today. Join us as we unravel the fascinating history of Rome, a civilization that has left an indelible mark on human history.